Hi, I'm Inoni. 4 days ago, Japan suffered a catastrophe on a scale that we've never seen before, or certainly a scale that I've never seen before. It was so cataclysmic in nature, I think, that it can hardly be comprehended. I mean, imagine the earthquake, a tsunami, and now ongoing trouble with nuclear reactors. And when I look at the pictures on TV, I can't even imagine where you would start. I would just be paralysed. I wouldn't know what to do. And coming so soon as it did after those tragic events in Christchurch, it's no wonder that people I meet are saying why. It's perfectly okay to say why. I'm saying why. Why, if there's a loving God, does he allow such things to happen? Why is survival so random? Why does a sister survive and her brother die? Why does a baby die in its mother's arms? And we know the scientific reasons because we are all now geological experts in plate tectonics, it seems. But that doesn't explain it, and it doesn't explain the sheer futility almost of it all. Why life is so fragile. How can the earth that sustains us, that seems so solid, so secure, how can that be shifted off its axis? We know that in a crisis people do turn to God. During the Pike River disaster, local clergymen and clergywomen became focal points of the community. We know that people flock to outdoor services in Christchurch, that people have flocked to the school halls where people can't assemble in churches. We saw so many bow their heads in silence a week after the Christchurch earthquake. But there's also anger, because people rail against what they see as a vengeful God, or dismiss his existence in the face of such tragedy because it's all too hard. After what used to be written in insurance policies, no longer I understand that such natural disasters were classified as acts of God. I don't know the answers. I'm wrestling with it as you are probably too, but sometimes words can help and sometimes words can comfort. And I'd just like to share with you words from two people that have really, really resonated with me. I was in the Napier Cathedral at the service a week after the earthquake, and the words that the very Reverend Peter Beck, Dean of Christchurch Cathedral, said were written on the service sheet, and I couldn't stop reading them. He said, "This is not an act of God. This is the earth doing what it does. The act of God is how we love each other and how we reach out to one another." And then I was just idly looking at this book, Listening to Your Life, Frederick Buechner, well-known author, and I just happened to come across this little statement. He said, "God is all-powerful. God is all good. Terrible things happen." He says you can reconcile any two of these propositions with each other, but you can't reconcile all three. Christianity ultimately offers no theological solution at all. It merely points to the cross and says that there is no evil so dark, but that God can turn it to good. And I put those two statements together, and to me, they equal hope. God bless you all.